Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today, I'm going to be talking about Donald Trump's pathway to his best case scenario in the Electoral College. If you guys do enjoy the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on that little bell, and follow all socials in the links in the description down below. Without further ado, let's get started. And so as of right now, with Donald Trump, a new Pennsylvania poll just came out. He's currently leading Trump by 2 points. He leads Harris by 9 and leads Newsom by 15 points in the state. And so roughly, he recently hadn't been leading the polls, and right now he's got a quite significant lead. And technically, Biden did catch up in the state, quote unquote. He technically did because Trump had a 7 point lead here in January. Now it's within two. However, I think Trump is still in a really good position to win the general election. And this video is going to be talking about his best case scenario to do so. And so a lot of these states that went Republican, in 2020 are basically going to go Republican. Iowa and Ohio, the Iowa and Ohio, these will be over 15-point wins in a best case scenario for Donald Trump. Donald Trump will probably win the states by, over like 15 points in the best case scenario. He'll run it up with white working class voters in these states, in my opinion. The next state, safe, South Carolina, over 15-point win. Alaska would be over 15 points in a best case scenario. I also see Texas and Florida being over 15 points in an absolute best case scenario for Donald Trump. The next state on here would be the state of North Carolina. This would be nearing an 11, 12-point win in a best case scenario. The state was only decided by 1.2 percentage points. And I think that if Donald Trump were to have his best case scenario, it would probably be an R+5 or 6 national environment, which is a 10 or 11 point shift away from 2020. And so I do think that in this scenario, Donald Trump would be winning the state of North Carolina by about, 11, 12 points. I think for Joe Biden, safe states, he still wins California by 15. He wins Maryland, Delaware, or actually not even Delaware. He wins Maryland, DC. It's down there. Oh man, it's super hard to reach, guys. All right. Okay, got it. Vermont and Massachusetts by safe margins. And this is basically all your safe states for Biden. He only has 81 safe plus 15 electoral vote states. I think that for the likely states, Hawaii would end up falling under 15. It'll probably be around a 10-point win for Biden in Donald Trump's best case scenario. I also think that the state of Delaware and Rhode Island would end up being likely margins in a best case scenario for Donald Trump, for Biden. And as of right now, for Donald Trump and his other likely states, I'd say Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia would all be likely in an ultimate best case scenario. I think he'd win them very easily. He'd run it up with white working class, African American working class, Hispanic working class voters, and he would kind of just run up the totals in these states. Biden would fall off. The third party vote share would be very, very high. And so this is where he just destroys Biden on the national level. And I think another likely state for Biden would probably be Washington. It'd probably be a lot closer. It'd probably be about like probably a 5 to 8 point win in this electoral college scenario. And so now going into, lean Republican states, you have New Mexico, Virginia, and Minnesota in this column. I think that in this scenario, he does win Minnesota by about like 2 points, wins Virginia by 2 to 3, and wins New Mexico by like a point or 2 points. He'd run it up with very, suburban voters. A lot of black turnout would fall off. The Hispanic turnout in New Mexico would basically overshadow the liberal leaning white working class vote there. And so Donald Trump would reach 340 electoral votes so far. And as for the lean Democratic states, I'd place Colorado, Illinois, Oregon, New Jersey, Connecticut in this category. I think that these states would be much closer in a best case scenario for Donald Trump. And you could even say New Jersey might even flip, but I'm actually going to say that it might trend like a point or two Democrat during this election cycle. Also, for the state of Maine, Donald Trump more than likely ends up winning the state of Maine, however, does not get that first district vote. And so it is only, he gets 3 out of the 4 electoral college votes there. And so I think here with Oregon, the Portland area is going to massively shift to him. A lot of these blue areas would mainly shift to Donald Trump because of illegal immigration. Like if it becomes a very serious problem, this is the reason why this map would happen. It's mainly due to inflation that would pretty much cause this map to occur. And excuse me, not inflation, immigration would cause this map to happen if, places start, there are governors already telling their citizens you need to start housing migrants in their houses. Like this is crazy, this is absolute nonsense. And I think New Hampshire would probably be lean Republican in a best case scenario for Donald Trump. I think he'd probably win it by a few points. And the last state on the map is the state of New York. Previously, I did have this as a Trump win in a best case scenario, but as of right now, I would barely give it to Joe Biden. The new poll came out showing Biden ahead by 12, so even if the polls are off by, 12 points, it could still be a win for Biden. The polls usually have been off by 7 to 8 points in the state of New York, depending on what poll you're looking at. And so this is your final best case scenario for Donald Trump. 347 electoral college votes to Joe Biden's 191. Donald Trump would do very, very well with the African American vote here. He'd probably be cracking almost 30%. He'd probably be in the high 20s in this scenario, probably winning Hispanics by a few points. He's probably winning non college whites by quite a bit. He's probably even winning college educated voters by like 2 or 3 points at this point in time. And he's probably winning the Asian vote by quite a significant amount. And so this is the best case scenario for Donald Trump in the Electoral College. If you guys did enjoy the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on that little bell, and follow all socials in the links in the description down below. And I hope to see you guys very, very soon.